Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for another program. We are having this program in July 2022, and we would like to thank again our people who have been very loyal to our program in the podcasts. This time, I am going to share you a little more detail of the countries that we have been that have been listening to us. Among those countries, there are three new ones that have been added. That is the case of Brazil, very beautiful Brazil. We also have Nigeria. Thank you very much. Whoever is listening to us in Nigeria, we never thought we would reach that far. And we also know that now we are also being listened in the Philippines. Also a great surprise. Never thought of the Philippines, but thanks to the internet for giving us a chance of reaching you all. And remember that we try to every other program share with you a song, a piece of music that is emblematic to one of the countries that are listening to us. And I'm not going to spoil it, but Katya is going to be sharing with you one of those very beautiful places in the world. Go ahead.
Kalinka, Kalinka, Kalinka Maya, Samoya, Malinka, Malinka Maya, Kalinka, Kalinka, Kalinka Maya, Samoya, Malinka, Malinka Maya.
I need to turn on my microphone. I was about to tell you that this song I have loved for. I cannot give you the number of decades because you can do the math and find out my age. A good number of decades for the very first time that I heard it, and I really love it so much. And with this absolutely beautiful song called Kalinka, from the lands of Russia. We would like to thank people who have been listening to us throughout the past 4 months there in what is known now as Russia. Thank you very much. And thanks, Katya, for preparing this piece for all of us. And
To add something,
yeah, sure.
Russia is probably the most beloved country for me in the entire world because I was I think I mentioned it uh, in maybe one of the first programs we shared with the people. I fell in love with music thanks to Tchaikovsky, thanks to the repertory. So I think that in that moment when I was 3 years old, I became Russian. I don't know how, but I became a Russian person. So every single time that I had the chance to listen some piece of music from there, that I see maybe a landscape or something, uh, I feel like something within me it's calling me to that beautiful and peaceful land. So Russia is a very special place to me. I love your music, your food, your language. I promise I'm gonna study Russian because I really want to speak in Russian, and I hope to, to be there someday because it's my favorite place here. Thank you for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I cannot do anything but agree with you.
I have to say that my name is Russian. I don't know if it's destiny or what, but I don't know. Russia is like the most beautiful place.
Yeah, yeah. I can do nothing but agree. And now, besides thanking the people who have been following us in Russia, I would like also to mention because we never mention it enough. You may find our logo on the left of your screens. That is Opera We Love Singing, and under that name you can find us in a good number of platforms. Let me name you all the platforms that you have been following us. You have been following us in Spotify, Player FM, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon Echo, Antenna Pod, Stitcher, Deezer, Sonos, and even Microsoft Xbox. That's what the stats tell us. So thank you all. As you can see, we have a great variety of platforms where you can find the audio version of this program. Then thanks again. You can find us as Opera We Love Singing. It is the same content. I know that sometimes it is very hard for people to keep watching YouTube, but when you are commuting to work or to school, it is much nicer to listen to a podcast from my perspective at least. Okay,
I agree.
so today we are talking about, and I'm about to put on the screen something that I found in the internet and I find it very lovely. The very well known country in the shape of a boot. And in particular, we are paying attention to Naples or Napoli in Italian. Uh, I really don't know where to start. Italy is, at least for most of the singers, most of the repertory is Italian, at least throughout the world. Most singers, 80% of the repertory is Italian and the other 20 is something else. So we deserve to Italy most of the greatest opera composers, but in particular, in the region of Napoli, there is this very, besides being a very beautiful place, there is this type of music that has been called Neapolitan music. And Neapolitan music is always part of the repertory for any singer, mostly tenors, and I think there is the noise of, I don't know if you hear the whistle. It is what we call in Spanish camote. I'm not sure what it's called. I don't recall how it's called in English, but to realize that what? Well, did I
uh,
get that? But I was giving you the introduction of every singer, in particular, any tenor would like to sing some Neapolitan music. And the first thing that I would like to tell you is that all Neapolitan music is written perfectly for male high voices, which is mainly tenors. So that gives us the hint that people in there speak in the upper register. So it is natural to a tenor. It doesn't feel forced at any moment. I would like to tell you something. I have been suffering for the past few days of some problems with my ear, my both ears, in fact. So I hope that will not spoil everything today. Katya is very well aware that singers use the hearing, the audition to calibrate the sound. So if something goes out of control, which I hope will not happen, blame it on the problem that I have been having on my audition for the past few days. But except for that, we are going to start with one of the most well known pieces of music for a singer, and that is going to be something that I am not going to tell you the name because the second you hear the music, you will realize what is it about. As you may have noticed, that is usually the opening that everybody has. Um, It is, as you notice, that is the orchestra version, which we are not going to play today. Because as when we play the musicals, I am pretty sure that YouTube will penalize it for copyright because all melodies are so well known that I'm sure they will do that to us. But let's listen to the piano version, which hopefully will escape to the copyright. Hopefully, but not sure. And something happens that it doesn't play. There it goes. There it goes. The commodity is still sounding in the background, but this one just doesn't play. There it goes. By Ernesto de Curtis, of whom we will talk about in a second.
Video mare quanto è bello, spira tanto sentimento, come tu chi tiene mente, cascetato fai suonar. Video mare del Surriento, che tesore te nel fono, che ha girato tutto mondo, non l'ha visto come ca. Guarda guardi sto giardino, senti stiesci core arancio, lo profumo così fino, l'into core se ne va, e tu dici io parto a Dio, da lontane la sto core, dalla terra dell'amore, tieni a cuore non torna. Ma non me la sa, non darmi sto tormento, torna Surriento, fame campa. Guarda torna sti sirene, cante guardano incantate, e te vono tanto bene, te volessero passar, e tu dici io parto a Dio, da lontane nostro cuore, dalla terra dell'amore, tieni a cuore non torna. Ma non me la sa, non darmi sto tormento, torna Surriento, fame campa.
Of, of course, it was Torna Surriento. Well, as I was telling you, one of the most well known Neapolitan songs that every tenor wants to sing, that even mezzos like to sing, sopranos like to sing, baritones like to sing. So everybody likes to sing. The very interesting thing about Neapolitan music is that just as Mexican music and maybe musicals, as we mentioned before, there are so many versions Some singers sing it in Italian, some keep it in Neapolitan, some do a given repetition, some omit a repetition, sometimes they put something that wasn't there. And so it is very difficult to find what the most the version that adheres the most to what it was written.
The
And I
purest
also wanted to mention that the same way there are key composers in other genders, that is the case for Ernesto de Curtis, who wrote so many Neapolitan songs that people know a good number of them. So maybe Mr. de Curtis is like Maria Grieber or Agustin Lara for Mexico, or Bernstein and Weber for the musicals, because everybody knows them. And so I was about to tell you, and sometimes people find it very important, that people from Napoli are so very proud of their music that they don't want to say it is Italian, it is Neapolitan. you
yeah,
know,
that's
and as such, people from Napoli hate it when it is sung in Italian. Because, and even if you noticed in the case of Torna Surriento, because I rehearsed it in Italian, and the truth is that I never liked it. Not because I don't like Italian, but because I think that in Neapolitan it sounds so much better. That's the original language for which it was written. So when it starts and says, Video mare quanto è bello, sounds so beautiful. Video mare quanto, is rather than guarda il mare come bello, which is in Italian, I don't really like it. What are
no.
your thoughts around Neapolitan music, Katia?
Well, I think that is a very fine and delicate genre of music. I think it's a very beautiful genre because it usually paints a landscape, so you can taste and you can see what the song is describing. So I think it is a very beautiful experience.
And to prove that Italians, more specific, people from Napoli, can sing to almost anything, now it is the turn to share another very, very well known song that almost any concert that you watch from Pavarotti or Carreras, because Domingo, I don't think he likes this song, but Pavarotti and Carreras always include this song. I am not going to give you much of an introduction because, again, you will notice or you will realize what song I'm talking about. Also, amazingly well known.
La giornata è sole, l'aria serena, dopo un tempesta, per l'aria fresca, pareggiana festa, che bella cosa la giornata è sole. Manato sole,
Well, that was Stan Fronte a Te, O Sole Mio, very well known song. If you ask me, I think the final notes are well too exaggerated. I think that is, but I think that's very much the spirit of Neapolitan song. Whenever I think of people from Italy, and I would like to know if you agree, Katia, I always think of people who are so emotional, so that like they live every day with the deepest of the passions. When they sing to love, they they open their mouth, their chests, their heart, and start singing. That's how I perceive all these people that in this case, let's compare. I know the comparison may not be fair, but think of the song of Rusalka, the song To the Moon, and she sings to the moon. It is female, but the melody is so quiet, so calm, so nicely done, very intimate. And the Italians or the Neapolitans sing "Oh sole mi," it's like the other side of the spectrum with the open voice, so happy that the sun is there again. But those are my thoughts around people from Napoli. What do you think of them?
Yeah, I think so. I think that well, it's true that maybe there are some characteristic issues uh, in certain places, in certain zones. For example, we everybody knows that Latin people used to be like in a party all the time. We laugh a lot. We laugh about anything. We Mexicans are famous because we laugh about death, for example. And I think that Italian people, like you just mentioned, it's people that lives with their heart, with their fever, with all his entire being, with all his strength. For example, I've heard many times that maybe northern people used to be like cold and more serious. We know that there are exceptions everywhere, but Italians are famous because of their passion. They're passionate for food, for love, for wine, for pleasure, and we want to thank Napoli for pizza.
Yeah. And if you noticed, we already have a pizza in the map that I am sharing you that I found in the internet. And of course, we also have to thank Italy for so many things. The world wouldn't be as it is now if it wasn't because of Italy. But I also wanted to share with you now another song that unfortunately, that as I was telling you earlier, that my audition is not very well today. I'm afraid the result won't be that good. But I wanted to share with you a very, very, very fine song called Avuchella by Francesco Paolo Tosti, one of the other very well-known composers. This piece of music is for me almost like if we were to compare, I would say it is a piece like an Italian leader because it is so absolutely perfectly well written that I am so sorry that my audition will not be fair enough for this today. But the thing that I like it besides the music, because I can listen to it 1,000 times even without singing, because the music is so delicate, so perfect in there. And what I also like is the the words. The words are for me. By the way, if you don't know, it is written based on a poem. So there is a reason of why the words sounded so well, and it is pretty much sung very legato. And the best voices for legato are the female voices. To be sincere, tenors can have nice legato, but sopranos are naturally better for legato. But yeah, what can you do, sopranos? Yeah, what can we do? But in particular, this piece of avukela needs to be very well pronounced, which means good diction, and that is not usually the case for the sopranos. So if you find a version of a soprano, you may sound you may find the sound so very beautiful, but impossible to understand because they are just playing with the notes and not with the words, not with the syllables. And if you hear it in a tenor voice, you will find it perfectly understood, but the legato will not be as beautiful. So, but Paolo Tosti wrote something so perfect that neither of the two tesituras can do it as well as it should be. Have you ever heard avukela before?
No, I haven't.
Hmm. Hope you like it. I heard it
I'm sure I will.
also a good number of years in the past, and I told, "Oh my God, this is so perfect." So hopefully it
Oh,
won't go that bad.
Sì, conosciurillo, tuo tienen buchela, lo poco pocorillo, a passuliatela. Damilo, e con Marusella, damilo Vassilo, damilo Canetela. Damilo e pigliatilo, no vaso piacerilo, no vaso piacerilo, come una questa vocella che pare una rosella, no poco pocorillo, acqua sugliatela. Si tu tiena vocella, no poco pocorillo, acqua sugliatela.
So that was un poco pocorillo a passuliatella, which for my ears sounds so very, very beautiful. Um, and it is said that it was they bet over the love of a woman, and so that's how this song came about. Because they said that it was impossible for Paolo Tosti to write something so fine, so elegant, and so he accepted the challenge. That's how it
yeah.
came about. What is your favorite Neapolitan song, by the way?
Oops. It is a very difficult question, but I would say that maybe it is grato.
Don't tell me that.
I
Because
have to.
we will bring this a little later. Have you ever tried Corengrato?
Not yet, but I will.
You can try it now.
I think that I could share something from Paolo Tosti, Per morire.
Yeah. You want to do it now or a little
Yeah,
later?
I have to share this with the beautiful people that is listening to us tonight. That in this program I'm not singing as I used to because I have some disease with my feet. So Ricardo is taking care of all the music today, even when he is in trouble too.
Yeah.
So it is a very complicated program that we are taking this ahead. But I can sing it. I can try. I feel better now. So I will. Se ancora col più dolce tuo sorriso ripeti che tutta la tua vita in quel cuore dolcezza nei tuoi occhi gli occhi del tuo viso ancora i dolci momenti i dolci momenti sai che tu e questo amore basta per morire che questo amore basta per morire se mi ripeti dell'aurora nella mia fronte e che nel fiume i pozzi potrei e m'abbandono ancora i dolci mentire i dolci mentire vanno
This is such a
She
beautiful
might be.
this is such a beautiful song. I don't know how you felt, but I could see in your face that you were really enjoying it, singing it.
I love this song. It is a special piece of music for me. But I think that in particular in this moment, I've been without singing more than a week. And for me, singing is better than breathe. I've shared with all of you that I've been in several different kind of problems, and singing have saved my life in every single time. So in this moment that I'm passing by this situation with my molars, uh, I had to rest, and my doctor said that I have to avoid singing a couple of weeks. But I think that this song will not kill me, and probably not singing will kill me indeed. So,
Like Antonia in Hoffman, right?
of course, I could die singing.
Yeah.
I really can't imagine uh, a scene where I feel so terrible that I can't think anymore. Probably I feel bad or sad or depressed or with a physical disease, but I always want and wish and can sing always.
So something that only artists can understand. Another
That's right.
artist would understand whenever he's sad, he wants to play his guitar, or he's happy and wants to play his piano, whatever the instrument they have. They have external instruments. In our case, they are internal instruments. And now that you just sung Paolo Tosti's, there is another song that I wanted to share with you. It is not that well known. It's called Marecchiare. And I like the melody so much, but I always mess up with the words. Always, all the time. So I am going to sing only a piece of it because if you don't know it, you will soon realize that it is so lovely. That's what I like about Tosti's compositions. They are so fresh, so natural, so charming. That well, let's listen to a part of it. Hopefully, I will not mess that much with the words.
Quando spunta la luna mare chiara e purile pisce il fanno dell'amore. Se ne volta la luna nell'umare per la priezza cagnano colore. Quando spunta la luna mare chiare. Amare chiare, che sta nella finestra la passione, viene a strozzolare, non calore, fanno d'ore in tanada, testa passa l'acqua sotto pormulone.
Amarecchiare nel stand alla finestra, it continues and moves on and on and on, but it won't be. We won't have enough time to sing everything that I would like to sing. Just like in the musicals that you remember that we sang and sang and sang, and it seems like we never ended. But that's what I like about the opening about Marecchiare. I like the joy, the energy of
Quando spunta la luna mare chiare, tra la 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 la.
I really love that one. Even if I mess with the words a little ahead, I really love
Nobody
it.
will notice it.
But unless you speak Neapolitan, you will never notice how I messed up. The melodies are lovely, but let's talk about another very, very lovely song that I think you may have heard it. It's called Non discordar di me.
Oof.
Pavarotti used to sing it so very often, and I think I shared with you in the past that the moment I used to take not to pay much attention to the parts that are called recitativos or the opening phrases in songs, because like any singer, I just wanted to go for the fireworks and show up and do all the horrible stuffs that singers usually do when they mess with the songs. But when I studied deeper Maria Grieber, I cared now so much for the recitativos, or for the opening parts of the songs, that now for me are the most difficult parts to sing, because you have to be put in such a mood that you really like open it, so that the melody of the song comes natural. And that is the case of Non ti scordar di me. Singers usually sing it again as if it was a great aria from Andrea Chenier or Andrea Lecouvreur or something like that. And it is not. It is a very nice song that simply asks the beloved woman, please do not forget me. And he does it with a very, very nice phrase, very simple phrase that only says, non ti scordar di me.
Non ti scordar di me, la vita mia legate a te. Io t'amo sempre più, nel sogno mio rimani tu. Non ti scordar di me, la vita mia legate a te.
And that is, well, the most well-known part of Non ti scordar di me, which I really, really, really love it, and that I hardly ever sing the first part well. Because let me tell you how I picture it, and maybe Katia tell us what her thoughts are. But it starts saying partinoro le rondini del mio paese freddo senza sole. What I picture is that this is somebody who is alone, watching the birds go by, thinking of his cold country, and with all that nature in his mind, he speaks in a monologue to the beloved one, and says, "Despite it all, please don't forget me. Non ti scordar di me. Non ti scordar di me, because I will always love you. My life will always be part of yours." This is such a very beautiful text that I can really think of a person, or if you have been yourself in that situation, that you think when you tell a person that is not with you, non ti scordar de me, la vita mia è legata a te. Those are my
Well,
thoughts.
I think that we all of us have a person that our life is linked to, and it doesn't have to be romantic love, uh, but we are always linked to someone, and it has to be very difficult to get so far away from this person. I mean, sometimes I have to go out without my puppy, and I feel like dying.
Yeah. Uh, that you feel that your life is linked or is so entwined to another. In this, as you mentioned, your puppy, she's a lovely puppy, so maybe sometimes she can share her picture with us, but she's a very
Of
lovely girl. But yeah, you see, we have seen so far a range of emotions of Torna Sorriento. I didn't mention, but it talks about the beautiful land that you would like your beloved one to never leave, and please stay here in Surriento with this very beautiful sea, this very beautiful views. Uh, we in Mexico have something, no, of course, not the same type of melody, but we sing to Veracruz because Veracruz we also sing Rinconcito. Tararara. So we humans like to sing to the place that where we were born. That was the case for Mexico, and that is the case for Torna Surriento. We had this beautiful melody of Abuquela. Well, then we had two pieces of Pablo Tostis, and we also sang to the sun. So, as you can see, Neapolitans have this wide range of things they can sing to. But now it is time to sing to the woman who just left us. Because women are usually cruel. And I am not going to
Not true.
tell you anything else, but you will soon realize what song this is by just listening to the first notes of the piano. You know which one it is, right?
I know.
Yes, women are bad. We know that.
No.
Catari, Catari, perché me dicesti parole amore, perché me parli o cuore me, torniente Catari, non te scurda, Catagiosa te occorre, Catari, non te scurda. Catari, Catari che bene anice, sto parla cameras passato, non c'è piense a sto dolore mio, tu non c'è piense tu, non te ne cuore. Core, core ingrato, t'hai pigliato a vita mia. Tutto è passato e non c'è piense ch'io. T'hai pigliato a vita mia. Tutto è passato e non c'è piense ch'io.
So that was Corin Grato. So maybe Katia wants to sing a part of it.
Yeah, probably I will.
Yeah, go for it. Yes, yes, yes.
Catari, Catari, perché me dicesti parole amore, perché me parli o cuore, e tormente Catari. I have to mention that I was reading in this very moment that Qatari It's a way to say Katerina that has also a relation with my name, and that's curious. Sorry, I'm pretty sure.
That wrapping up of the song is so written to impact the audience because it goes "Don't check you know, it's like very theatrical, or I don't know how to say it. And one can sing it better when one has the heart broken.
Yes.
Because that's when everything makes sense. When you say Catari, Catari, perché mi dici sti parole amore, perché tararararararararam. You know, it has to be like, why are you telling me these
I mean,
bitter
he's
words?
dying. He's dying for Katari, and it ends with, and you don't think of us. He's dying, and she doesn't think of him. She doesn't mind. She doesn't remember. Wow, that has to hurt.
It really has. And I also wanted to tell you, as we're approaching the end of the program, this fast, even though we both are not in our best conditions, the program has moved so very fast. We have progressed almost to the hour. And I wanted to ask you, since you have students, what Neapolitan songs do you advise them to work on? Because the thing about this, I was telling you, for a tenor is nice because they are very comfortable, but for a tenor who is starting, just thinking of it's like horror. I will never do it, you know. So what do you advise your students
I
to
was
start?
thinking exactly that I would set Core Grato for all of them just to be listening this once and again, but probably it's not the best idea that I've had. I don't know. I think that any song could be a right choice because it's delicate music and you have to work with your fiato and you have to work with your line. So yeah, you have to have a very I forgot the word again. Homogéneo. Yeah,
Homogeneous, yeah.
you have to have a very homogeneous color. So I think that it's always a good moment to work on Napolitan music, and probably you could avoid songs with very high notes because we can fall in the temptation of singing as Puccini aria. But apart of that, I think that Napolitan music it is a very good with respect, a very good exercise.
I think they are very good for rehearsing. I also think so. Now I recall that O Sole Mio has been sung in so many different ways. I was just remembering that in one of the concerts by the three tenors, and you may recall it when the three of them were at the Caracalla. Pavarotti, they sang the O Sole Mio as a piece, I think, and Pavarotti went for a trill in O Sole Mio, and then the two other tenors wanted to do something very similar, which in fact was very hard. What was it? something like that was what Pavarotti did, but Carreras and Domingo do not have that technique. So
No, they suffered.
they, they,
They
they,
tried, but they suffered, and
they
you can
try,
see the
but they
video.
tried.
And it's like, oh no, don't do that.
But it's funny how well known it is, O Sole Mio. That one I wouldn't suggest either for beginner students because it keeps the middle high for so long, so you may well broke the note. You will may break the note in the middle of it because da, 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 la, da, da. That is easy for a mature voice of a tenor, but not for a beginner. So. Uh,
Yeah.
we will hopefully soon we will have a surprise with Música Prohibita in a few weeks to come. But Música Prohibita will be a nice surprise for everybody there. I will not tell you anything else because it has to be a surprise. Something will happen with Música Prohibita, but that is another very beautiful song. And to wrap today's program, you know, guys, that I love Rossini. So even though it is not a Neapolitan song, I am going to go for La Danza, which is also known as the Tarantella Napoletana. That's why it makes sense now that we would like to really, really, really thank people in Napoli for having given to the world this amazing range of beautiful music, for sharing all your emotions and passion with all of us. Then again, so it's unfortunate that we were not in the best vocal conditions this time, but we did it with all our heart, and I think, or I hope that will suffice. What would you like to provide as closing words, Katia?
I think that I have to thank all the people that have shared with us all this time that has followed us because we are doing this with our hearts. Uh, we love to sing so much that sharing this only with each other it's not enough. And thank you for all of you that is following us and loving music as much as we do.
Già l'allone in mezzo al mare, mamma mia, si salterà, non è vera per danzare che in amor non mancherà. Già l'allone in mezzo al mare, mamma mia, si salterà, non è vera per danzare che in amor non mancherà. Già l'allone in mezzo al mare, mamma mia, si salterà, resto in ansia intorno a tondo, l'ore mia, venite qua, un garçon bello e capondo a ciascuno toccherà, e che celebri la stella la luna splenderà, il più bel con la più bella la notte danzerà. Mamma mia, già l'allone in mezzo al mar, mamma mia, si salterà, finché, 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 mamma mia, si salterà, finché, 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 mamma mia, si salterà, la 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 Salta, salta, gira, gira, ogni coppia cerco va, già s'avanza si ritira, all'assalto tornerà. Salta, salta, gira, gira, ogni coppia cerco va, già s'avanza si ritira, all'assalto tornerà. già s'avanza si ritira, e l'assalto tornerà, serra serra con la bionda, con la bruna qua e là, con la rossa va seconda, con la smorta fermo sta, vive il vano tondo sono là, che non pascià, il più bel cielo del mondo, la mia cara volontà, mamma mia, Gianna luna in mezzo al mar, mamma mia, si salterà, finché, mamma mia, si salterà, finché, mamma mia, si salterà, la 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 la